All right, so you want to dive into natural breast enhancement. Specifically, you asked about total curve, right? And
Hmm.
we are here for it.
Yeah, it's a hot topic for sure. We're seeing a lot more interest in natural approaches these days. People wanting to avoid surgery and all that.
Totally. No judgment here, just information so you can decide what's best for you. And speaking of information, TopNaturalHealth.com has a whole article on total curve. They've even got some promo codes happening, by the way. But before you click over there, let's break it down, shall we? You're the expert. What's the deal with this total curve thing?
So Total Curve is a two-part system. You've got a daily supplement and a topical gel. The idea is to kind of tackle breast enhancement from both inside and out.
Okay, two-pronged attack. I'm intrigued. But what's actually in this stuff? Give us the ingredient breakdown.
Well, on the supplement side, you've got things like fennel seed, which has a long history of use in women's health. And then there's dong quai root, which is another plant that's often associated with hormone balance.
Okay, so like working from within to create change, I get it. But what about the gel? Is that more herbal stuff, or are we getting a little scientific?
The gel is where it gets pretty interesting. So alongside things like aloe vera, which is soothing and hydrating, they've got this ingredient called volufiline.
Volufiline. Okay, now that sounds like we're getting scientific.
It's actually derived from a plant, and it's supposed to stimulate something called lipogenesis, specifically in the breast tissue.
Lipo what now? You're going to have to break that one down for me.
Lipogenesis is basically just a fancy way of saying fat cell production. Our bodies naturally produce fat cells all the time, and volufiline is supposed to encourage that in the breasts, leading to a fuller appearance.
So it's like telling your body, hey, put some extra padding right here, please, and thank you.
That's a very simplified way of putting it, yes.
Yeah.
It's about trying to influence where your body stores fat.
Hold on, because if this volufiline stuff can target fat cell growth like that, are we talking groundbreaking science here? I know a lot of people who would love to tell their bodies where to not put fat.
That's a great point, and it highlights just how complex our bodies are. Volufiline has shown some promise in stimulating lipogenesis, but this idea of targeted fat cell growth is still a very nuanced area of research. Think of it like this. It's like trying to inflate tiny balloons under the skin, right? Volufiline might be able to inflate the balloons, but directing them to just the right spot. That's the tricky part.
So not as simple as like rub on, plump up.
Not quite.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that our bodies are complex systems. Genetics, overall health, lifestyle, it all plays a role.
Right, right. It's never a simple equation. So while we're trying to figure out this whole volufiline puzzle, what about the other ingredients in Total Curve? Are they like the supporting cast in this whole enhancement saga?
Absolutely. It's not all about volufiline. The supplement, for example, also has blessed thistle. That's been traditionally used to support breast health. And remember that two-pronged approach. The gel also has bearberry.
Bearberry, yeah.
It's known for its antioxidant properties, and you see it a lot in skincare products.
So antioxidants, now that's something I understand, like giving your skin a little shield against environmental damage, right? But how does that tie into breast enhancement?
Well, think of it this way. Healthy skin equals overall breast health.
Right.
And antioxidants, they might help protect the delicate skin in that area, create the best environment for, everything to work as it should. But, and this is important, everyone's body is different. What works wonders for one person might do absolutely nothing for another.
It's like those disclaimers they always have. Your results may vary.
Right.
So we're not talking about some magic potion here, more like a nudge in a hopeful direction.
That's a great way to put it. And I think this is where we need to circle back to your goals. What are you hoping to achieve with breast enhancement? Is it about a dramatic size increase? Or is it something more subtle? Like, do you want to feel firmer or more lifted?
Because those are totally different goals, and they might need different approaches. Speaking of which, this TopNaturalHealth.com article mentions something about 60 to 90 days for visible results with Total Curve. Is that realistic? I mean, based on what we know about how the body works.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Real change takes time, especially with something as complex as, well, breast tissue. It's not like our bodies are machines that we can just instantly reprogram, And that 60, 90-day window, that's based on their clinical trials, which are helpful, but they don't always reflect everyone's experience.
True. Clinical trials, averages, it all goes back to that your mileage may vary thing. But I guess it's good to have some kind of time frame in mind. So what about those results they were talking about? Didn't they mention a percentage? Something like?
They claimed an average of 8.4% increase in breast volume.
8.4%. Now that's a number. But I'm guessing it's not quite as simple as that, right?
You got it. It's an average, which means some people in the trial saw bigger changes than others. Plus, we don't know all the details of the trial, how many people, how long it lasted. Those things matter.
Right. Got to keep it in perspective. So we've covered a lot of ground here on natural breast enhancement and this total curve system. What are some key takeaways for our listeners out there?
I think the biggest one is remembering there's no magic bullet, even with natural methods. Everybody's different. What works for one person might not do a thing for another. It might take some experimenting to find what works best for you.
Experimenting, trial and error.
Exactly.
So patience and realistic expectations are key.
Absolutely. And beyond that, this whole conversation brings up a really important question. What does enhancement even mean to you?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
It's so personal, right?
Yeah.
Are we talking about size, shape, or is it more about feeling confident, comfortable in your own skin? Those are deeper things that a cream can't always address.
So true. A cream can't fix all our insecurities. Sometimes the biggest changes come from within. Self-acceptance, self-love, realizing that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. Though, hey, if something like Total Curve gives you a little boost along the way, awesome. But it starts with you.
I love that.
Yeah.
It really does. It's about finding what makes you feel good.
Well said. This has been fascinating. We went way beyond the science of Total Curve and got into some deeper stuff about body image, self-care. Thanks to our amazing listener for suggesting this deep dive. Hope you're feeling informed and empowered to make the choices that are right for you.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power. The more you know about your body and your options, the better decisions you can make for yourself.
Love that. And we love exploring these topics with you. If there are any burning questions, any wild curiosities you'd like us to deep dive into next time, hit us up. You can find all our info on the website. Until then, happy learning.